All right, let's get into it with the two-time Super Bowl champ Bryant McFadden and our guy Ryan Wilson. Gentlemen, we've talked about the Seahawks team in the last couple weeks and just how they've grown and how they look good in certain moments. I want to start here with the running back, Kenneth Walker. He's been fantastic, and when called upon late in this game, he had no trouble putting it away. Ryan, as our draft expert here, we saw a lot of promise in Kenneth Walker, but to watch him pop this way in his early opportunities, I mean, how impressed have you been by the young man?
Incredibly impressed, but I'm not surprised, Joe. Transferred from Wake Forest to Michigan State. It was hard to get a sense of who he was at Wake Forest because they run that slow mesh offense with Sam Hartman successfully, but it didn't show us everything that Ken Walker III could do. Goes to Michigan State, blows up last year. He was my number one running back by the time the draft rolled around. He and Breece Hall were both dominant. Obviously, Breece Hall has been injured so far this year, but Ken Walker has been an integral part to what they want to do. And the best part, Joe, is that he does what Pete Carroll wants this offense to do. It looks like what Pete Carroll has been begging for during the Russ Wilson era. Geno Smith is controlling the offense with his arm. And what happens with Ken Walker? He controls it with his legs. And this offense looks completely different than what we saw under Russ Wilson the last few years. And it's a testament to Pete Carroll. It's a testament to John Schneider, the GM. And perhaps most importantly, it's a testament to Geno Smith and Ken Walker for being able to do those things.
Now, I know we want to get around to Geno Smith, as that has been Ryan Wilson's calling card here throughout the first half of the season. And impressive is an understatement. We'll get to Geno in a moment. But, Brian, I do want your thoughts here on Kenneth Walker and just what he's done with this early opportunity. We're looking at a guy who's getting to his numbers and really showing up in the moments of the game when it matters most. He was stifled for plenty of this first half. For him to be patient and then get those numbers in the second half tells you what?
No question. The burst, the physical nature in which he runs with, and the unique thing about Kenneth Walker being a young running back, he's always falling forward. He's always searching for positive yards. He reminds me a little bit of a taller Maurice Jones-Drew. When you look at his body structure, how physical he runs, the one-cut runner that he is, the burst, the speed, quality hands as well. He has everything you would want your running back to have plus more. If you look at what he means to this team since being healthy, the balance that they have has been well documented, and he has really helped not just the running game, but also the passing game as well, because now you can't just devote all your attention to guys like DK Metcalf and Lockett. You got to focus in on the running game when Kenneth Walker is in the lineup for the Seattle Seahawks.
Let's talk about Geno Smith here, guys, because 4 straight wins for the first time in his career as a starting quarterback. Seldom do we see guys, let's say, fail in one place or not live up to maybe where they were drafted, go to another place and succeed, and seldom do we see it in year 8, year 9 of a career the way we're seeing it here for Geno Smith, stacking up wins. And obviously this was the one blemish on his day with the pick 6, but undeterred by that, B-Mac, I mean, we could sit here and wax poetic about Geno, but specific to this game, just doing what he's being asked to do for this offense, the way that Ryan just talked about. How perfect of a fit is he right now for where the Seahawks team is and what they're doing?
And he's the perfect fit for where this team is trying to go. You talk about being smart with the football. Yes, he had an interception that was returned for a touchdown, but instantly when he jumped right back on the football field, you saw the confidence. That's the biggest difference that I see in Geno this year compared to years past when he was starting in the National Football League. His confidence is there. He's putting it on display, not to mention the coaching that he is receiving. They don't question who he is as a quarterback. Remember when we were going back and forth, who will the starting quarterback be? Drew Lock, Geno Smith. Of course, Drew Lock missed some opportunities during training camp and preseason. But when they gave Geno Smith the keys, it was no doubt that he would be the guy. It wasn't a sense that Geno needed to look over his shoulder that we see a lot of quarterbacks that are not stable starters have to do. They said that, Geno, you're the guy, and we're rocking and rolling with you, and the team has bought into who he is as a starting quarterback. This is probably one of the more feel-good stories in the National Football League based on what he has done as an individual and the overall team success.
B-Mac, you are exactly right. Fit matters. It's so important. Every year these quarterbacks get drafted in the first round or in Geno's case the second round. They have to play immediately, and we can't understand why they're not having success. More times than not, they go to a terrible spot, and they can't succeed because there's nothing around them to help them succeed. And I feel like Geno Smith has gone through this process, as you laid out, Joe. He wasn't ready to go in year 1 or year 2 or year 3 in New York. He was a backup for some time, got his opportunity in Seattle, and made the most of it. as B-Mac noted, it's not even close. Drew Lock is not even in the conversation as being competition for Geno Smith because Geno Smith is in the MVP conversation. That's how good he's been. And as B-Mac was talking, I was hard-pressed to think of a quarterback that is a better fit for this system in the NFL right now. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes are clearly better quarterbacks as we sit here, but Geno Smith runs this offense flawlessly, completed 75.5% of his passes today, had that one mistake, came back, was unaffected by it, and was throwing lasers. And oh, by the way, on that touchdown drive late in the game, he used his legs along with Ken Walker's legs to get them in the end zone. So he is a versatile two-way player in that he can run and throw the ball. Some might call him the OG Justin Fields, Joe.
Fair enough. It was just striking here on Sunday how perfect of a fit this man looks like in this offense, whether it's the coach asking the right things of the quarterback doing the right things. They're in full concert right now. I do want a quick thought here, guys, as we do have another final coming down here between L.A. and Tampa Bay. We'll get you those highlights and reaction in a moment, but quick thought here on Arizona, complete lack of urgency. A couple words here on where the season's at, or maybe what the season wasn't, Ryan Wilson.
Here's where I'll start and maybe I'll end. They had 12 penalties at home with the home field advantage in quotes. They had 5 false start penalties at home with their home crowd in the stands. That is unacceptable. B-Mac and I say it every week. It comes down to coaching because every week Cliff Kingsbury at his post-game press conference says we need to do a better job making plays and not making mistakes. And every week they don't make plays and they make mistakes. So I don't know how you fix something that is broken because you have the same dudes running the show.
Yep.
So, I think Kyler Murray's frustrated. Billy Price, the center, had a tough day, had 2 snaps over Kyler's head and had the false start. It goes on and on and on. I don't think there's an easy fix, and I don't know where you even begin to try to make this thing not be such a train wreck.
Coaching. Let's start with the coaches, right? Head coach. Clearly, this team, once again, they don't look prepared. You talked about the miscues, the penalties. I mean, just bad football on both sides. And what we're starting to see now is the players. They're starting to get frustrated with what's going on schematically. And you can see the back and forth that we're seeing with the quarterback and wide receivers, offensive linemen. There's no chemistry on the sideline because the players are getting frustrated. Not to mention they're performing bad as well. So I feel like the players from the outside looking in, they're not buying into what these coaches they're selling them on both sides of the football. And then once again, just bad performances. They only scored 14 points. Cliff Kingsbury is supposed to be an offensive-minded coach. He got this job because he was supposed to be a guru, to say the least, working hands-on with the quarterback that fits his system. Only 14 points. The season is pretty much over for Arizona. Let's keep it real. I understand the division is still kind of wide open, but based on what we've seen, I have no reason to feel any excitement that I will see something different moving forward. I don't think they don't believe in the coach. And because of that, we're seeing poor execution on both sides of the football field.
Yeah.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.